Today on R&R on Sports, Larry and Howard are joined once again by Scoop Jackson as they dive into the NFL playoffs and the NBA season so far. Hear this and more on this week's episode of R&R on Sports. Now, here are your hosts, Larry Robinson and Howard Robertson.
Hello and welcome to R&R on Sports. My name is Howard Robertson.
And I'm the fantastic one, Larry Robinson.
What you eating?
I got a little apple, man. You caught me with a little apple in my mouth.
Yeah, you smacking on it and whatnot.
Man, I'm sorry about that.
No, you're not.
So
No,
good.
you're not. No,
It's so
you're
good.
not.
I'm
You
doing this
like my son told his grandmama, I ain't no sorry.
No, I'm doing this fruit diet, man. I'm integrating fruit into my
is that
diet,
right?
and with the hopes of getting my sexy back.
Getting your sexy back?
It's coming. I see it. It's right around the corner.
All right.
Right around the corner.
Make sure you don't get the same kind of sexy that Dak and Jalen got.
Man, listen. I mean, I feel for Dak. I really do, because you know, they can't win. And that franchise is cursed.
My son-in-law is a major Dallas Cowboys fan. And I called him at halftime and I said, look, man, they playing soft. But then I watched the halftime show, and Jimmy Johnson was like, went locker room on it. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He went completely coach crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, my saying that they're playing soft was an understatement. Somebody's saying they playing like this, they playing not to lose. And anytime you try to play not to lose, you always do.
Well, I just think that they've got to Jerry Jones has got to get out of there. I think he's too close to it as an owner. I think that ultimately you want to get, a team in there that really has responsibility for football operations.
Larry, you can kiss that goodbye, brother. He ain't going nowhere.
You're probably right. I mean, but the problem is that he's obviously not a good GM. The team is really suffering, but you know what? It's not impacting their fan base. They have the most rabid fans that I've ever seen in the world,
and they will remain. They can't do nothing to get rid of them.
They will remain. People that have not won anything, they will talk to you next year like they won last year's Super Bowl.
Hope springs eternal. That's exactly right.
Man, they will talk to you like they won. Man, Dallas fans, I don't know what goes on with that blue star, but it has some hypnotic effect to some folks. Because they love them some Dallas Cowboys. But now, man, I am just not. And then when it comes to Jalen, I just think he's too young. He's young. I think that, he probably felt himself a little bit, started feeling himself after last year's Super Bowl. I think dynamics change when you get some success. I think A.J. Brown went down, which also posed a little bit of a problem. So I think they'll come back around, but he's just got to get back in the lab. I think Jalen Hurts going to be all right.
Right. I got recommendations for some Cowboys fans, though. If you want to change, you're almost there. You're almost there in terms of the colors, but just replace that big ugly ass star with a lion. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, because we still in it, baby.
Y'all still in
it. But you can't be no punk. You can't be no punk with your Lions now, because they're going to hurt you.
Man, you've been a Lions
somewhere
fan
down the line, they're going to break your heart.
Lions fan?
Huh?
How did you become a Lions fan?
Because I love Detroit, and Detroit reminds me of Memphis so much, especially the teams. Nothing's ever easy for them. Everything is hard-earned. So some about that, it appeals to me, and the music culture and the black folk and being on the board. I just like them.
I hear you.
Anyway, R&R on Sports in the house. We got some more right after this. Don't go nowhere. You do yourself a disservice.
Now you can get me to sing. I love this song. Cheating in the next room.
Cheating in the next room.
Did you hear the begging in those lyrics?
No, I heard that guitar coming in. That thing was crunk.
Blues in the Basement on the Kazukian Network.
Boy, that boy Steph can so shoot that ball. That mother Scooter can shoot that ball from so far away. I tell you need binoculars to see that boy.
Woo! I wrote a song about it. Wanna hear it? Well, you about to hear it. Here it go.
Shoot it long. Shoot it from a mighty long way. Yeah. Steph can shoot it long. He can shoot it from a mighty long way. Anywhere on the court, the popcorn stand, the women's restroom, they ought to give them shots more than just a trade.
Shoot that ball. Shoot it from the hallway. Well, Steph can shoot that ball, baby.
Sure can shoot that ball, boy.
He can shoot it all the way from the hallway. Shoot from anywhere you want. Just step on back and make them pay.
Oh, that boy Steph is bad, boy. Steph. Woo!
He free to shoot from wheresoever he want to shoot.
His daddy can shoot the ball.
He couldn't shoot it like that.
His daddy can shoot the ball.
Daddy couldn't shoot the damn ball like that. I don't care what you say. Daddy couldn't shoot the ball like that. Don't nobody shoot that ball like this boy.
What's his daddy name?
Delvin.
No, what's his last name?
Curry.
He's Curry.
He's Curry.
So where do you think he
But
got
everybody,
his
just cause his name Curry, you think he can shoot the damn ball any way he want to? Nah, this boy done recreated shooting as we know it.
No!
In the modern age.
No, his daddy shot the ball better.
I just want some good barbecue. I don't want none of that Indian food.
Who that got to some Indian
The curry.
food?
I don't want any of that curry. It's too spicy.
Put the curry on the barbecue.
It's too spicy.
That's what
That boy bad, though.
Put
That
some
boy
curry
bad.
on them ribs.
There's some curry on the ribs.
Curry set them ribs off.
They don't make no ribs in Carolina.
I did that in Carolina.
Carolina.
We in Tennessee, boy.
No, they mean Carolina, though.
Carolina can't do nothing.
It's barbecue.
Not in Carolina.
You want some curry flavored barbecue?
I don't.
They put some
Don't
mustard
he have
on
a little brother?
They put some mustard on
What's
that
his
curry.
name?
I got some curry on my pizza.
Let's see.
Well, that's just gross.
I put
There's,
some curry on my pizza.
there's Steph, and I believe he's got a sister named Ida Bell. And it's another one.
Man, you know, I put some curry on Ida Bell's toes. Ida Bell got.
Wait a minute, boy.
Is that what's in
Wait a
there?
minute.
Is that what's in James Harden's pot?
Ida Bell
Still
got.
sucking toes?
Dad, that boy.
Riffin' on jazz.
So all the artists today must be ladies.
Must be.
Oh, my favorite.
You got a problem?
No, that's my favorite.
See, I knew.
Riffin' on jazz on the Kazukian Network.
Back for more R&R on Sports. So, Larry,
What's up, brother?
you been watching any basketball?
I've been watching plenty.
College or pros?
Watch a little college, more pro.
Okay. Well, let's take college first. Who you looking at? Who you like?
Well, I really
Start with homers first. What you think about the Tigers?
I like the
University
Tigers.
of Memphis Tigers, that is.
I like the Tigers. I like the Dion.
Number 10 in the nation.
Now, I'm calling Penny the college basketball version of Dion.
Oh,
They
really?
jump that transfer portal and they pull every kind of jewel out of there that's possible.
Yeah.
And I see the same thing with Penny, and I see him with a model that is ultimately going to work for him. He's just got to win. He's got to take them deep this year, and I believe he will. But ultimately, it is what it is. And I like the Tigers, but I like UK actually. I like UK even though, but somewhere else I like that Texas A&M. I like Buzz Williams over there at Texas A&M, and then I like my man. What's his name at Marquette? Man, what's his name? Young brother as the coach up there at Marquette. I like him too.
Well, what about when you speak about UK? What about it? Why do I draw parallels for some reason between what Penny is doing with the transfer portal laid beside what Cal used to do with one and dones?
Well, I think it's somewhat similar. I mean, I think Penny's people are one and dones. They just at the other end of their career as opposed to the beginning of their college career. So, and I think they're more seasoned players. I think Penny's getting a more mature, more seasoned player that is very focused on, trying to maximize their opportunities with basketball, which when you get a lot of young, early freshmen, one and done freshmen, I think, some of them are still in that heyday in that rose-colored glasses of I'm still the greatest thing in the world since sliced bread. And I think that can be somewhat challenging to deal with. I think that Cal has got a tougher job in bringing these young boys together. That's what
now, yeah,
I like, especially now more than ever. But I even thought back in the one and done era, I agreed with you then that then it was even tough. But now with NIL and everything that's impacting transfer portal and everything, I think Cal is doing an amazing job. And I think it's real challenging in UK. And they still continue to bring in top players, very similar to Duke, which I didn't think Duke would make the transition to this transfer portal, young, hot players looking for NIL deals as well as they have. And I think they have that. I think Duke has done a great job as well without Mike Krzyzewski.
Right. So, Jeremy, I know you can't answer me on air, but I want you to get Cool Mo D's Wild Wild West. And every time we talk about either NIL or the transfer portal, I want that to come up in the background. I ain't gonna be able to hear it, but I need the comfort and the security of knowing it's there, because that's what that is. The Wild Wild West.
Yeah, it's truly the Wild Wild West. And I don't see it getting any better, especially on the football side, because I see that they're going to split off. I think they're going to split off the Big Five and create sort of like a super conference amongst themselves, and ultimately they will have the national championship come out of this group. I'm interested to see how this 8-game playoff looks next year, but I believe those Big Five conferences are going to really try to exert a power move so that they can compete, and then also get some control around these NIL deals, because these players are making a lot of money. And I think that is impacting, some of those power universities and who they're able to obtain, because you got some teams like Texas A&M that, literally they got more money than God with all that oil down there. So I think they're going to get some top-notch players down there.
Absolutely. A lot of good playing going on, a lot of good sports going on, and so it's lovely to be able to watch it develop and evolve. And I'm looking forward to attending some NCAA regional games here in our hometown of Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, I am too. I think that's going to be really cool.
Me too.
Having the regionals here, being able to go to and check out some really dope college basketball. Well, let's switch gears a little bit. On the NBA side, what you seeing that you like?
Well, I am liking the flip turn upside down of the league, especially in the West, as far as seeing teams that in the past you might have not paid as much attention to, like OKC, even like the Clippers, like others. Minnesota, yeah.
I think Minnesota's looking really good.
Like I said, it's been a flip turn, and they're looking really, really good, and they are dominating, and I like that.
Yeah,
equity.
Anybody on the East? Anybody in the East jump out to you that's really looking good to you?
I need to watch more East. I mean, Knicks seem to be playing better.
Yeah, Knicks are playing well. Knicks, they finally got that thing going in the right direction. And now
Did you get together with Allen Houston when he was in town?
I did. But Dolan has actually got a improper situation with a young lady charge. Yeah, so Dolan and Harvey Weinstein, who would have been bosom buddies there, and they got a young lady as sexual assault.
Not Harvey, Harvey was
and a vicious assault from Harvey Weinstein, really? Accordingly.
Really?
So that's going to be interesting, and it's interesting to see how the NBA handles an owner. And then on the other side, you also got Jim Irsay over in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Found him responsive around in December, what seemingly was a drug overdose. So we got some owners in professional sports that got some splaining to do.
Yeah, well, Irsay been a wild man for a minute.
Yeah, he has.
For a minute. It's you talking about drugs, sex, and rock and roll.
All day long, brother. All day long.
That's him. That is him.
We got a good guest today, though. We got a serious guest. Brother Robert Scoop Jackson.
There you go.
Of the Chicago Sun-Times and ESPN fame. So y'all stick and stay.
Absolutely. Y'all know Scoop ain't never been short on opinion.
You know that's right. So listen.
Got plenty.
We'll be right back.
Human Speed with Kirk Whalum.
Avery Sunshine, I am just overjoyed to spend some time with you.
Listen, what you know about pot liquor? You from Memphis, so you know.
My favorite part of all of that, I'm like, don't throw that away.
Human Speed with Kirk Whalum.
Welcome back to R&R on Sports. Man, we've been working together. I thought you were going to take it down an octave, brother.
Hey, man,
we'll talk about it later. Don't worry about it. We appreciate always you guys being with us here on R&R on Sports, and we continue to bring you only the best today. It's an old friend that's back because we got some real talk. We got some real talk to do. Robert Scoop Jackson, thank you for being back on R&R on Sports.
Scoop.
Anytime, fellas. Happy New Year. Happy Ali birthday.
Absolutely, man. My, he threw one on us right there.
He did. You even from Louisville. Did you know that?
Well, I happen to know all those things in relation to Muhammad Ali, sir.
Okay. Yeah, right. Claim it now. You didn't know a damn thing. So, Scoop, what you been doing, man? Bring us up to date.
Now I've been trying to stay out of trouble, man. Trying to, make sure. And look, I'm trying to stay out of. I'm trying to make sure Stephen A. don't get mad at me, so I'm good. I'm saying. I'm trying to make sure me and my man are still cool. So I'm good. That's all I'm doing. I'm staying out of
because he'll get up there and go off and start cussing on national TV.
Hey,
I'm making sure I started 2024. I'm making sure I'm good with Cat Williams and Stephen A. Smith. I'm good.
Well, listen, you had your own run-in with Jason Whitlock, though.
Yeah. You know what? I did. I take that as a badge of honor because I was the first one.
Right.
He went after. So.
Right.
They call me Christmas addicts around ESPN for a reason. I keep telling them, I'm the nigga they're gonna shoot first. So I just didn't know it was gonna be him with the gun. You know what I'm saying?
The first one to go down for the cause.
Yeah, I'm the first one. I'm number one. I'm number one. I'm pretty sure Stuart Scott was here. He'd say he's first, but
Right.
That's all right, baby. They're gonna be naming high schools after you and stuff.
Right.
We gotta get your commentary.
I'm the first one Jason went after. So I take pride. Stephen A. said he got 10 years. I said, man, I got 18. You still young in this game.
Hey man, Stephen A. didn't hold nothing back, did he?
Yeah, I think he did. Really? I think he did. And to be honest with you, I'll talk to him about that later. I mean, after the fact, I talked to him about it. Yeah, but there were some things he left on the table. I thought he could have said to, I don't want to say make his argument, make his statement less personal.
Okay. Yeah.
That he could have said some things across the board that he knew that would have generalized and put into greater context what he was saying, not necessarily about how people feel about Jason, but necessarily to give a picture of who he's at times shown himself to be.
Yeah, right.
That's all. But I think he held back on that because he was emotionally attached to the situation.
Very much so.
There've been over the years a few times that I've tried to, and I just wasn't able to do it this time because I think he had reached his point. Talk him off the ledge of having this moment about Jason. In case
there is somebody that is wondering what we're talking about, give them the quick summary.
Oh, it's just a matter of Jason Whitlock, the writer, television broadcaster, publicly viewing his opinions about colleagues and people in the industry.
Right.
He does this from time to time, and most of the times, a lot of times, it happens to be at somebody of color in the industry.
Right.
And a lot of times it becomes news.
Mm-hmm.
That's this last time he took his personal whatever, Irie, shade, hatred, dislike, whatever. He directed it publicly to Stephen A.
Right.
From what I understand, based on him watching Cat Williams' interview with Shannon,
So he felt empowered.
He felt empowered.
Yeah, I guess no. He said he was listening to Cat Williams. He could understand what Cat was feeling because he felt the same way. So he related what Cat was feeling in comedy to what he's had to go through in sports journalism. And in the context of doing that, he kind of singled out Stephen A. Smith on either his podcast or his show or something like that. And related it to that situation, and then what wound up happening is Stephen A. had reached a point because I don't think this was the first time that that's really happened.
Right.
Stephen A. responded, and Stephen A.'s response kind of became a thing.
Yeah.
And made much more news. It grabbed much more attention than Jason's initial swing at Stephen A. And that's kind of what we're talking about.
And here's the question. Related to that. Do you think that in sports we have reached a point of personal, I won't say attack, but let's say participation, more so than it should be? And, you know, the objectivity, if there was any, has long since left.
Well, it would be
on the part of sports analysts and reporters.
It would be easy to think that, but it would also be naive to think that. I don't think sports journalism, sports media is any different than any other business or just life in general.
Okay.
You know, you're going to have good, bad. You're going to have like, dislike. You're going to have comfort and discomfort. You know, I think we don't do ourselves, I don't want to say a disservice, but we don't do ourselves full service by always using the number of us or the lack of number of us in this industry and saying that we should refrain from having any of these conflicting issues, that we should not, you know, we should rise above pitting ourselves against each other, you know, and dealing in that crabs in a barrel theory because there's so little of us in the game. But I think that's unrealistic because as human beings, there are going to be certain people who just don't like certain people. There will be certain people who just rub people the wrong way. There will be certain people who are jealous and envious of people.
Right.
You know, that there's no number that you can attach to that.
Right.
You know, so why should we walk through this space expecting differently? You know, there's going to be that.
I agree with you. I think that one of the main causes of what's happening is the proliferation of media. We didn't used to have such a widespread, widely disseminated proliferation of media. And when there were fewer of us, we could have a meeting, what I call a meeting before the meeting.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to add is that, you know, it's a part of our culture. We've always kind of handled these types of uncomfortable situations
between us.
Right. And we've always handled it behind closed doors. Whereas now there's so much of, and then also we didn't have the platforms at our disposal that we do now. So we now have platforms, we have know-how, we have access. And I think a lot of this will come to bear, you know, because of the hip hop culture getting much older and that mindset around beef. I think also will also. I
also think, Larry, that comes with the territory. So we have to make a choice. Do we not want to grow? Because without expansion, then we can have this, but we're going to stay in the same position. They're going to be the same number of us.
Right.
You know, we're almost going to function as a cult as opposed to, you know, fighting to be part of what's normal. You know, you can't have one without the other. And the one thing I can say about us that is true to the core, there's always going to be somebody that's going to sell us out. Always. So as we grow.
Always has been.
That's what I'm saying. That's not going to change. So as we grow, understand that that's going to go along with it. So either we go back and like just be comfortable with the way things used to be, where there are 30 of us in the room and we 30 are gonna, you know, try to maximize on that, but that's it. Or we're gonna keep fighting to be at the same table, sit at the same table, own part of the table, you know, be in the same building. And now there's 300 of us. But understand with that, of those 300, we're back in the day, the 30 were consolidated. They were solidified. They were true to one another. Of that 300, somebody's going to sell you out. It's going to happen.
Right.
So, you know, I get what you're saying, but what are we gonna do? Are we gonna sit around and bitch about it? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Are we just gonna move, understanding that that's the way things go? And that's one of the reasons I really don't have a bigger problem with Whitlock as some other colleagues do. Because, one, I walked into this space understanding that is how life, especially for us as Black people in this country, that's how life is. It's going to happen. You don't know who it's going to be or what it's going to be, but it's going to happen. And I hate to say this, and I don't want to spend too much energy on this. I don't even know or if I'm in a position or if it's even accurate to put the sellout label in the same sentence.
Yeah, you got to unpack that a little bit.
Well, it goes by the theory that what did Chuck D say? Every brother ain't a brother.
Right.
Somebody asked
you say all your color ain't your kind.
Right. Somebody asked me a long time ago when I was going through my thing. Well, I wouldn't say I'm going through the thing when he had his issues with me and took his issues public with me. Somebody said to me that, it's like black on black crime. Seeing you two go back on one another. I said, one, it's not a back and forth. He said some things about me. I responded. That's not a thing, really. I said, but to call it black on black crime, it has to be two Black people in this conversation.
And with that,
is that unpacking enough for you?
There we go. Yeah, we unpacked it. Listen, this is R&R on Sports, and we have on the show today, brother Robert Scoop Jackson. Listen, stay right there. We're gonna be right back and finish up, and we're gonna talk some NBA on the other side too.
NFL too.
A little bit, man. Howard's gonna be quiet. So listen, we'll be right back with R&R.
Howard's gonna do what?
Right after this.
He's gonna be quiet.
Hey, I'm Williams Brack, co-host of Grind Set. The insight you gain from us and our guests will motivate you to take the leap into entrepreneurship. So stay with us. What's your grind set? And if you happen to miss some of our episodes, make sure to check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast provider.
Grind Set on the Kadzukian Network.
Welcome back to R&R on Sports. Robert Scoop Jackson in the house. Where they say dropping wisdom. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. So we're gonna talk some NBA, but let's talk NFL first. I just saw some what I call Benedict moments.
What?
Now y'all don't know nothing about that.
Benedict Vendetta.
Benedict Vendetta, a friend of mine that was in a school play. And he happened to stutter, and he had been practicing his line. They said the line was, "Here comes Sherman, always late." He was supposed to say better late than never, but the lights hit him and whatnot, and he rushed it just a little bit. And instead of better late than never, it came out better than better. So we saw on the football field some better than better moments.
Okay, what you got?
All right. So now I'm asking Scoop, what do you think about the performance of the Cowboys and the Eagles?
Well, you know what? To be honest with you, both expected. The Cowboys expected based on their recent history in the playoffs and how they haven't shown up regardless of what coaching changes they do, personnel changes they do, whatever. They are not built. They haven't shown recently that they're built for these moments. So to me, that was expected. Matter of fact, I told my sons for the game, I was like, Green Bay is going to win the game. And, I don't know. I'm like, trust me, they're going to win. And then secondly, expected because of Philadelphia, because they have not played good all season. Really people look at that 10-1 record, and it's like that was that was a weak ass 10-1 record. They did not play well all season long.
Yeah, they did not play well all year long. You're right about that.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was like, almost Super Bowl hangover, or they started feeling themselves, but Jalen was not the same quarterback at all. It seemed like he got caught up in his own Hollywood script scene.
He got that bag.
It wasn't just the bag, it was all the attention that came with the bag. You can get the bag and still perform because the bag is just about money. It's all the other trappings that come along with the bag. And I think he got caught up in that because, I'm not saying this because it happened, but I'll say this. I think this is one of those things that he could become a case study for two different groups of individuals of what can happen with our thirst for anointing a black quarterback. We placed him on, a hill that's bigger than Tyreek. We like, yo, you're the next guy. I can't think of a time when Essence Magazine ever, put a football player on the cover of their magazine.
I hadn't seen one in so long. He was on the cover of Essence?
Yes, he was on the cover of Essence.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you how he transcended just being, a quarterback or a great quarterback or a black quarterback. He was being anointed as that dude, but a large part of that is because one, you had two brothers play quarterback in the Super Bowl last year, and that's something that never happened before. But he was the one of them. He was the one that was young. He was the one that came out of nowhere, and he was the one that was that was representing a city that had a deeper connection to who we were as African Americans in this country. It's Philly. All that stuff came along with it, and we were so thirsty to have somebody in that space, that we thought or we felt could be in that space and hold it down along with Patrick Mahomes, but in a different way, that we anointed dude.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is that's what I think is a case study on two fronts. It's a case study on us that we need to pull back on our thirst when anointing someone, because we damn sure didn't anoint Lamar Jackson the way we did Jalen Hurts that fast. Lamar
Did you think was Dak anointed?
Huh? No.
Was
And
Dak?
I think part of it is like what happens when you play in the Super Bowl, but I also think he happened so young and so fast, that there was some anointment there. And we had him leapfrog Dak. We had him leapfrog, I don't want to throw Deshaun in there, but we had him, leapfrog.
Well, it's not normal that everybody goes to the Super Bowl. I mean, I think we're dealing with, the fact that Lamar Jackson, and the challenges that he's experienced, although he's won MVP, I think that, but still the challenge is that the fact that he's not been successful on the field. So
exactly. And but let's be honest, he's had injuries that play a role in probably why, at least in the last couple of years. Well, that could be looked at as reason. Whereas this particular situation,
that the NFL is willing to embrace a Lamar Jackson as the face of the NFL.
Oh hell no! No way. We're not saying that. Understand what I'm saying, Larry. The NFL wasn't the one who anointed Jalen Hurts. That's what I'm saying. This is a case study for two different groups of people. One of it is us, as black folks. Okay. We're the ones that's thirsty. We're the ones that elevated dude to be the next great. They put him in their conversation so quick, so fast.
Okay.
We're the ones that did that, but also
you don't have a lot of sample size either. I mean, I think you had the same situation with a Lamar when he won MVP.
I know.
So, but do you think there's a disconnect when it comes to the NFL and their desire to have anointing someone versus the black community?
I don't know if there's a disconnect. I just think there's a different perspective of what they're looking for. Okay. We're looking for a hero. They're looking for to win championships.
Okay.
And the thing that's good and bad is that while Patrick Mahomes represents a part of that, he's still a unicorn in this because he's so unique and different in what he does. We know there's not going to be another one like him. Okay. I don't care what color you are. You come in with stripes like a zebra. You ain't going to be another Patrick Mahomes. So to find another one of him is impossible. So we're almost back to square one. And in finding that, the NFL knows ain't going to be another dude like that. So we'll wait. And until we start seeing the Lamar Jacksons, the Jalen Hurts, the Deshaun Watsons, the Justin Fields, and I'll even throw Tua in there. Until we start seeing non-white traditional quarterbacks constantly playing in the Super Bowl, constantly winning Super Bowls, then what we want from the black community is always going to be different than what ownership wants in the NFL.
Who you picking for the Super Bowl?
They don't give a damn. When it comes to that, to a certain degree, they want to win because, hell, that's where the money is. None of them losing money, but that's where the money is in this game. And if you have to have a brother that's in that shot calling position, then I'll ride with that. Now, it may take NFL teams, 5 or 6 of them to happen concurrently to at least get to or win a couple of Super Bowls for everybody else, for all the other owners to buy into. But us, all we looking for is like, what if we always look for in this life? The space that we've always seemed to be, the space that we always seem to have an opportunity for, that's one at a time. So when the Jalen Hurts comes along and he plays in the Super Bowl and he's under 25 years old and it's only his 3rd season, you know what I'm saying? And he seems to be that type of dude that we can directly identify with. Oh yeah, you elevated, dude. Now, here's the thing. He's going to have to do it again. He's going to have to prove in the next 2 years that this was just a blip. That last year is who he really is. And on top of that, Lamar Jackson going to have to do it. Dak Prescott's going to have to do it because it can't just be Jalen Hurts alone in order to get the switch that you're talking about, Larry.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have to be the constant. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to have to be the Ravens and the Chiefs damn near every year playing each other for the AFC Championship. It can't be Josh Allen. Can't be Joe Burrow. It can't be Sunshine.
Right.
It's got to be those two. And on the NFC side, it's got to be Jalen Hurts all the time. And then Phil's got to come and do something if he stays with the Bills, if he goes somewhere else in the NFC and does his thing. Or, it has to be if Caleb Williams, wherever he gets drafted, he got to now elevate and do his thing. It's got to be CJ Stroud.
Right.
It has to be, they have to be consistent in either being in the NFC or AFC conference finals, and at least one of them, not the same one of them has to be in that game in February all the time in order for the mindset of the ownership collectively as the NFL to elevate at the same pace in which we, the thirsty ones, elevate black quarterbacks.
All right. Well, listen, this is On Sports, and we're speaking with Robert Scoop Jackson of the Chicago Tribune, right?
No, Sun-Times.
Sun-Times. Okay, Chicago Sun-Times. All right. So, what you got, H?
Well, let's talk a little bit about NBA, Scoop. What are you seeing? I could ask you what's Draymond's real problem, but I won't.
I will though. What's Draymond?
Yeah, no. I can answer that question. Larry can answer that question. That's the easy answer.
Go ahead, knock it out.
And Draymond's my man. I love him to death. I'm disappointed in him, but that's my man. And I'll say this without feeling any certain way about it. You asked the question, what's Draymond's problem? That's what you asked, right, Howard?
That's what I asked, yes.
he doesn't get it.
We talking about his wife? What are we talking about?
No, I ain't talking about that type of get it. I ain't talking about that type of get it.
As Ricky Ricardo would say, explain yourself.
Explain yourself. Lucy, look, he doesn't get the damage that he continues to do. He is so stuck in everything he's done has got him to where he is that his blinders have not allowed him to step back and look at himself. And it's not like he's looking in the mirror and seeing the same thing we see. But sometimes in order to really, really see yourself, you don't need a magnifying glass. You need to step back and see what everybody else around you is seeing. Right. It ain't looking in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? It's that, what did my man say on The Wire? Sometimes you got to approach things with soft eyes. Same thing. Draymond needs to look at himself with soft eyes. He needs to relook at himself with soft eyes so he can pull back, get that 30,000-foot view and say, oh, okay, that's it. Because right now, all he's seeing is right here. Who on the team
talks to him? I mean, who's he close to?
What's that old saying? You can't help nobody until they want to help themselves.
Okay.
Right.
That's it. Right. And you can't help yourself if you don't see yourself. Am I correct?
Right. True that.
There it is. Now, the question is, to me, that is the problem with Draymond. Well, what's wrong with Draymond? The question is this his rock bottom? Because I'm going to look at Draymond the same way we would look at somebody who would have an abuse issue, like a substance abuse issue. Then they could even know what's wrong with them, but nothing's going to change until they hit that rock bottom. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about.
Until they hit bottom.
They hit bottom. Everybody's bottom is different, though.
Right. Yeah,
but
you're right.
You got to hit rock bottom to begin to start saving yourself, to see yourself for who you really are and all the help that you need and what you really need to do. So, I don't know if this is Draymond's rock bottom.
All right, real quickly, Scoop, real quickly. You got two big threes. You got the Phoenix big three. You got the Los Angeles Clippers big three. Which do you have more faith in?
Regular season, playoff series. What you talking about?
Let's go playoffs. To go further in the playoffs.
I'm probably going with you said Clippers big three?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with Clippers big three.
Really?
Yeah. Even though I think individually, Phoenix is big three. I'll take all day.
Okay.
But you're not asking anybody in that Clippers big three, for the most part, so far, to play out of position.
Okay.
Like they haven't handed the ball to Bradley Beal yet to run the offense the same way they did with Devin Booker.
Right.
I just don't know if that's going to last, in a playoff series for Phoenix. I think as much as Devin Booker likes to distribute and do this and the other, I think you need people to be close to be their natural positions. And I think with the Clippers, James Harden is naturally a point guard. He's not playing out of position. Kawhi Leonard is naturally a three, or Paul George. They're naturally playing what they normally do. I think in Phoenix, either Bradley Beal or we haven't seen that, but Devin playing the point, you're asking him to do that, and that's unnatural. That's something he hasn't done before. So I'm thinking over the course of the playoffs that's what's gonna be the bigger problem.
Well, they also had Kevin at the five the other day, so that's.
But Kevin has been used to playing that position, and at certain times, you know what I'm saying? At certain times, he could go down and play that position, and he's smart enough defensively, hopefully, to do that without getting, into foul trouble. And they still got Nurkic.
Yeah, they
still got Nurkic to play that position. So
they put Kevin in the post strong.
Yeah, but once again, it depends on who you play in a playoff series. I don't think that's going to be Kevin's full responsibility. The way they're structured right now, Devin Booker is their point guard. and I think you're asking about the big three.
Right.
I think James Harden, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard playing what they've always played is it like if they're playing each other series, I think that probably is going to be the difference, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Just on those big three. But I also think, and this is no disrespect to Phoenix, because I think they're thorough and they can match up really well. But I don't see anybody on Phoenix's team that can be an answer to Norman Powell. Norman Powell is like the X factor on the Clippers.
Yeah. Well, you also got Russ on the bench too. So, that's
I'm considering Russ, but I'm just saying, but I think Phoenix may have something for that, just to like counter. But Norman Powell, he does everything, man. There's nothing that man doesn't do and won't do for that team.
Right.
And he ain't out there trying to be pretty. He ain't out there on some elite, drama. He that work dude. Right. I'm out here to get things done, and he gets it done.
A Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
Whatever you need.
And Howard, like my mama used to say, a gun might misfire. A razor ain't never miscut anybody. So with a Swiss Army knife, you're gonna get ass every time. Every time you get an ass with a Swiss Army knife, 6 different ways you're gonna get some ass.
Woo!
Oh wow.
Boy, that's old school there. Razors don't play.
Nope.
Razors don't play. So okay. Last question. My last question, just one, 3 words. Super Bowl picks. Who versus who?
Ravens against the 49ers.
Uh-oh.
Say it again.
Ravens against the 49ers.
Ravens 49ers. All right, you heard it here.
Who you got coming out of that?
It was only one question. He ain't got to say who coming out. One of them. That's the answer. One of them coming out.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I ain't think about that. But yeah, that's a good one. I haven't thought that far.
All right,
there you go.
Right.
I haven't thought that far. I ain't gonna lie, I haven't thought that far.
We'll get that next time.
I like to give y'all educated answers. They may be ignorant, but at least they're educated. So I haven't thought that far.
One of these times we got to talk about George Gervin. We've got to talk.
We got time. We got time to talk about ice. That's good.
All right, good, cool.
All right, that's a whole show.
All right.
Yeah, we can do ice the whole show.
There you go. Man, we appreciate you as always being here with us on R&R. Thank you.
No, thank you. I appreciate
look forward to having you back and doing some George Gervin talk.
Let's see if we can schedule this right around All-Star game or something like that.
Cool.
Okay, sound like a plan.
All right. All
right. Take care, Scoop.
Be well, fellas. Appreciate y'all. All right.
Take care.
You too. We'll be back tomorrow on our own sports right after this.
Kadzukian.
The company is based in Memphis, but it is international.
A new building, an expanded team, new equipment, a new studio, all inside of 7 years.
The resources that we were able to utilize with Kadzukian and their team has been incredible. And our partners at Kadzukian has been a large part of our success.
One, it's Black owned. So we get to tell our own stories in our own way.
With social media and the technology we have today, the world is listening.
Kadzukian. Check out all your Kadzukian favorites now. Download the Kadzukian app, available on Android and iOS.
Welcome back to more R&R as we head more to the DOOR.
Peace. See you later. Wouldn't want to
peace, Al Wiedersehen, and all of that stuff.
All of that, and then
all of that stuff. So I'm going to start out, Larry Robinson.
Who you shouting out?
With my shout out to Ms. Naomi Osaka.
Wow.
who, she was one and done in the Australian Open, and her interview, post interview was, I thought, very good, actually. Because she's had some issues, mental health issues, and pressure, and all of that stuff came down. And she looked at him and said, hey, this time a year ago, I was pregnant. And, I should have known that just coming right out here and having after having a baby, it takes some time. So I'm cool. So the only thing I'm upset about is she had on a very, very lovely outfit. She said, the only thing I'm upset about is y'all only get to see this one time. One time. And if that's the extent of your worries, baby, God bless you. I'm happy for you.
I like Naomi Osaka. I do too.
I do too.
One other person I think we didn't mention. I got to see a report with Mary Lou Retton.
Oh,
in her health battles, and I'm really, wanting to send up prayers for Mary Lou Retton. She seemed like she was having a tough time. She's on oxygen, of course, and one of those ladies that really dominated the gymnastics arena when I was coming up, and created some fond memories.
Absolutely. And speaking of those memories, you have the memory of her face, how she used to look as a young person, etched in your mind. Isn't it just a trip, a mind-blowing thing to see these same folk that you had this memory etched in your mind as grown folks, as older people.
Grown folks. I mean, you could see that smile that she had, because she had a 10,000-watt smile.
Absolutely.
And,
absolutely.
And,
but she's an older woman. I mean, and we all, we all are.
Absolutely. So listen, man, let's get on out of here.
All right. I hate to leave, but we got to go. We appreciate you being with us here on Sports. I'm Howard Robertson.
And I'm the great one, Larry Robinson.
Who just ate an apple. Is the apple gone, man?
Apple's gone, brother.
Your hands sticky and stuff.
It's history.
Wash your hands. Be clean. Y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be back with us next week, please.
You've been listening to a little R&R on sports, written and produced by Howard Robertson, Larry Robinson, recorded and mixed in Memphis, Tennessee.